Hi, it's September 5th, and I don't have anything to say before the intro.
This is
Next book on the favorites list is Paper Towns. That's not all.
Say hi.
Hi. So there are a few things that I want to talk about in this video. The first, however, requires me to put on a hat and stand in front of the bookshelf background, so I'm gonna do that. So as you know, I do books versus movies reviews. I've done 8 of these reviews on this channel, I'm in the process of editing the 9th, and I have several others in the works. One of those is the graphic novel V for Vendetta by Alan Moore and David Lloyd, on which one of my all-time favorite movies is based. I finished reading the graphic novel actually yesterday, I believe, and so I started to do just a little bit of Wikipedia-type research on the book and the movie. And I learned that Alan Moore, the main writer for this book, did not particularly like the movie. He felt that the changes that the American movie makers made took it away from the native country of England and made it into an American-type movie. And that instead of looking at anarchy versus fascism, it was looking at more liberalism versus neoconservatism. In other words, it was a movie for a 2006 American audience, which the book wasn't. Reading this reminded me of Roald Dahl's attitude towards the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory from 1971. He didn't like that movie either. Now, part of that is because he really did kind of get screwed over on his writing of the screenplay. But part of that is also because it wasn't like his book. I mean, it was, but there were definite changes made. And I've discovered that lately, especially since I've started doing these books versus movies reviews, I've had less and less patience with purists. These people that think if you're going to do an adaptation of a story, it has to be exactly like that story. You can't make any changes. So a movie that's based on a book should be word for word the same as that book. But the thing that I've noticed also in doing these books versus movies reviews is that the movies that tend to do that also tend to suck. And by sheer coincidence, Chateau of a Doubt posted a video talking about medium and audience and how we will often change the way that we tell a story to suit a particular audience. Now, she was mostly talking about the difference between vlogging and twittering and blogging and all these other things that we do online to tell stories. But the same principle carries over to books and movies. If you're going to make a book into a movie, you have to make changes and you have to make the story your own. Because first of all, there are certain things that are going to work in text that simply aren't going to work on the screen. And second of all, oftentimes you're aiming for a completely different demographic. V for Vendetta the book was written in the 80s. V for Vendetta the movie was written in the 2000s. They had to suit it for a different audience. And the message that they came up with for the movie was relevant for the audience that they presented to, which is part of the reason why I think it's such a great movie. And don't get me wrong, the book is great too, and I'm actually kind of having a hard time deciding which way I'm gonna fall, whether the book is gonna be better or the movie is gonna be better. But the movie is intended for a different audience. It can't be the same. It shouldn't be the same. And I get the feeling that purists don't understand that storytelling isn't going to be the same across the board. It's going to be suited for the medium and for the audience. And I'm obviously, as always, curious to know what you all think about this, and so leave a comment, leave a video response, and definitely go check out Chateau of a Doubt's video on the subject. And that's it for this background. Let's go back over there. So the last thing that I want to talk about in this vlog today is punishments. Thank you, Gretchen. In Jesse's video from September 3rd, he asked his viewers for punishments. And the suggestion for punishment that I gave him was one that I would actually find pretty punishing myself: to read a book or watch a movie that you absolutely, positively loathe, and then do a review of it. So that is the punishment that I am setting for myself. Should I miss a day in VEDS, I will have to read something or watch something that I just cannot stand and do a review of it. I will leave the decision of what that something should be to you guys. And that's all from me for today. I'm gonna go to a barbecue. Later. Why? It's Sunday afternoon. Why aren't you people napping?